Hey guys, this is Teddy. I got my co-host with me.
What's up, y'all? I'm DeMarco.
Very excited. First episode of the podcast. I wish I could say what the podcast's name, but I don't have a name for the podcast right now. Crazy thing is, I had a name in mind the moment I bought this thing, but you know, I decided not to go with that, and I don't even want to get into the backstory. So, moving on. First episode, it's your boy Teddy. Some of y'all know me, some of you don't. For those that don't know me, I am Teddy. I live here in St. Louis, like a lot of the people that will be watching this first episode. And I work in trash. Won't reveal the company I work for, but I do work in trash. And I'm gonna let DeMarco get into his introduction.
Man, I feel like you really practiced that, bro.
I
feel like you really practiced that. I ain't get to practice nothing. It's all good though. But, yeah, man, I'm DeMarco. I'm from St. Louis as well. I don't work in trash, but I also drive trucks like my homie over here. I work for FedEx, and I want to say I just got out of the military about 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a little bit about me.
Right, man. Speaking of that, man, that'd be the first thing that come to mind when your name comes up. You're like, oh yeah, my homeboy DeMarco. We went to elementary school together. Childhood friend.
Third grade.
After middle school, I left the school district in 8th grade. It was the first semester of 8th grade. I left Riverview and then ended up going to Rittner. And we had no contact from the age of 13, 14 until was it 3 years ago?
20. I was probably 22. I think, yeah. No. Wait.
If that,
I'm gonna say it's 2020 now.
Yeah, I want to say at least 2017.
Probably so.
Yeah, so about 3 years ago, he found me on Facebook.
Facebook, man. It's crazy, man. Power of the book.
The boy hit me up. It was like, yo, what's good? I was like,
yeah, man.
I don't know who buddy think he talking to. I was like, oh, this is my boy. I'm like, okay.
Way back, man.
Right, man.
But it's crazy because you wasn't the only one that we had lost, that I had lost in touch with. So I'm like, man, it was quite a few people. Yeah, quite a few of us.
And the funny thing is, that time that we were kids, compared to now, it wasn't common for kids to have cell phones. We knew kids that did have cell phones, but it wasn't as common as it is today.
That's crazy though.
At 13 and 14, I would find it it'd probably be impossible to find a kid at the age of 13 and 14 without a phone or some device that connects them to the internet.
So as of right now?
As of right now.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact, because I don't even think they don't remember house phones. They don't even remember. They don't even know what a payphone is unless they see it in a movie on TV or something. I remember they used to be on every block.
That's real.
They used to be everywhere.
Payphones been obsolete.
They got them out of there. Killed them off. It's crazy.
Got them up out of there.
Get them out of here.
Oh man! Before we just start our rant, man, I wanted to talk about the podcast for a minute, just what inspired it, man. So. My inspiration for going out and making this investment in all of this equipment here, like I said in my promo video, I just wanted to do something new. I wanted to do something I haven't done. I wanted to push myself. I wanted to step out of my box because big introverted energy over here. I just don't. Yeah. I'm just okay being by myself and being quiet. That don't bother me at all.
That's true. I'm kind of the same way though. So
and that's probably why we click. A lot of people I mess with are really introverts. They're the ironic thing. Most people I talk to, even if they're introverts, they're usually way more outgoing than me. And so when they say, "Yeah, I'm an introvert," so I look at them like, "Nigga, stop!
You ain't acting like it. You don't seem like it."
I speak to 5 people in here. I actually only know 2 on a personal level.
Right. You
talking to 30 niggas and rocking with 15 of them on a regular basis. You're not no introvert.
I don't know. Some people they just have I want to say like when I was in school, I forgot Buddy's name, but he was like one of the type of people. He just possessed like a certain energy. Like he got along with everybody. Like nobody disliked him. He had no enemies. He clicked with each and every sort of individual, like introvert, whatever. Don't matter.
True. Gosh.
You ain't recorded?
I wasn't recording on her. I can't believe I forgot to hear that on her.
I thought you said you did it on there.
That's recording, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't recording the audio. Like the point of this, like this is the audio I wanted to capture.
Ooh.
And it's like we're just not getting it. But I guess we'll just keep the audio from there. First, that's a big time mistake. I don't know how to make that. But anyway, we're gonna
it's all good. You gotta learn from something.
We're gonna move past it. If the light's not red, don't do it.
Light's not red.
But yeah, like I just I want to do something different. I want to push myself, and I also want to, like I said, I want to spark a conversation. I want to talk about things that are going on in the world. Mm-hmm. I want to see what people are thinking about those things. I want to share my opinion, and I want to give and get feedback. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like every episode, I want to have somebody on the show with me. And I'm really hoping that you will host this mode with me, like going forward. Like I do, because like we had like good energy. Like I was telling somebody earlier this week that like me and you had a conversation like 2 months ago, and the conversation was so fire. All I was thinking the entire time was, this nigga needs to be over here.
Like what was it about though?
Man,
like what was we talking about?
Something that was relevant to the time. I can't recall what it was initially, but like
was it the George Floyd stuff or?
We might have touched on that. And like what really like triggered me and had me hype about just getting you on the show was that like you were so thorough with your reasons on why you think what you think and the details. Like you, like I didn't even have to search for them. You were just like, hey man, this is how I feel about this, and the reason for that is this. You know what I'm saying? Because if he didn't do A, then we wouldn't even have B. And I'm just like, man, you making some good points. And like we don't agree on everything. Like we've had previous conversations, and we don't agree on a lot of the same things.
And I feel like it's okay though, because like if we truly friends, I feel like we should be able to have like a disagreement and still walk out of there being okay, as long as it's said respectfully.
Exactly.
So that's it.
And I can rock with that, man. I can rock with that. That being said, when I bought this thing, it actually took me a while to unbox it, because it was like I didn't want to take it out of the box and not put it to work. But after a while, I was like, okay, I need to at least take it out the box and see what it does. And
it's a fancy piece of equipment here, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like when you told me how much you paid for it, it kind of blew my mind. I wasn't really expecting that though. So. And
your surprise to the price, I was sitting there like, dude, I told you this already. And then I had to think back to who I was talking to on the day when I had the box in my hand. I'm like, oh, I wasn't talking to you that day. Your name just came up in the conversation.
I'm like, yeah, that most definitely wasn't me. You told me that, but like, what the hell? You could have found nothing cheaper.
Man, like it was an investment, man. That's how I looked at it. Like I didn't go into it thinking that I need to get the cheapest thing possible. Right. I went into it thinking, you know what I'm saying, with a price in mind that I was willing to spend that day. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's like I was telling you. I'm like, well, shoot, if you pay some serious money for this, I'm gonna take it serious. You know what I'm saying? So that's, whew, man, that's crazy.
I respect that. I respect that, man. So when I finally took this joint out the box, man, and just playing with it to see what it does, set everything up, see how it sounds, I was like, man, this thing's amazing. Mm-hmm. Like this thing is crazy. Like this. Now I've told you before, like this was the only model that they had in store. And
okay.
This was the only one that was in stock at the time, like in store. Like everything else was on back order.
Man, this pandemic that's probably like the main reason why.
Exactly.
Everybody at home, like this is the perfect time to actually do something like this. Because you're just at home at the crib most of the time anyway.
Right. And back to like the stocking issue, like because I already had a vision in my head of the show and the fact that I wanted multiple people on the show with me. Mm-hmm. And you see it set up for 2 right now. Like the audiences, you guys see it set up for 2.
Right.
It has the capability to support
what was it,
4 at once. So I wanted the setup for the 4-man setup. But I would have had to wait for that, and I didn't really want to wait because I wanted to jump and start immediately. And
yeah, because you said you had this for a while though.
Yeah, I've had this since June 2020,
yeah, and it's December. It's going on Christmas.
6 months I've had this, and I have not used it. Like I've taken it out of the box and used it, but I haven't put it to work. I haven't, produce anything on it. I've only played with it to see what it can do. And the funny thing is, so this was priced at $1,000, like this whole setup. And
see, I was gonna let you say it.
It doesn't seem like a lot. Well, the equipment, it may not seem like a lot of equipment for $1,000, but this thing does so much by itself. Mm-hmm. And then the quality, like the audio, the crispness of the audio clarity that you're hearing in our voices right now.
Looking at
that's these microphones. That's the microphones. The headsets just help us to regulate, how loud we're talking. So
like honestly, I can't wait till we actually finish filming because I want to see like the quality of it, visually and the audio of it as well. So
right. It's this whole setup was priced at $1,000, and like this bundle came with the cheapest microphones and headsets that the audio mixer was paired with, and the guy was trying to upsell me on the more expensive ones with the better headsets and the better microphones. And there was one I think that was priced at like, if it wasn't $2,000, it was like $1,800.
And that's like with like the 2 additional mics and all.
Yeah, it was the 4-man setup, and it had like the best supporting gear, the best headset, the best microphones. The microphone, he was telling me that the microphones were they were, I want to say, broadcast ready, or they'd be the same quality microphones that are used in professional radio settings.
Okay.
And
for $1,800,
yeah,
that's not bad though. If you get like the top of the line, upper echelon stuff, so that's not bad at all.
Nah.
Just like me, just looking at it off rip, I would have never assumed that you paid $1,000 for this, bro. I just like, I wish you would have got my reaction on cam though, because I'm like, a band. I'm like, okay, all right, cool.
So, but I mean, I wasn't gonna drop that much. There was another one for like 13, which was like was it a step up? No, that was like, because there were like, I want to say there were like 4 packages. This one for $1,000. There was one for like 12. There was one for 14, and I might have exaggerated a little bit. Maybe it wasn't $2,000. If it was 1,000, 12, 14. So the other one was, I think it was 18. I think it capped at 18.
Okay.
And the other ones came with 4-man setups as well, with better microphone. Like every, with each hike in price, you got better equipment with it. But because I had a budget, I was like, you know what, I'll just take this. And then he also told me, he was like, well, you take this one, we can build you, you know what I'm saying, a bundle in store. He was like, and I can just get you 2 other mics and headsets that are equivalent to what you're getting in the box. And I was like, cool.
This is not bad though, as just like, if you want to use this like as your startup, this is cool right here.
And to be honest with you, the quality is great. Like it's so good. And when I listen to playback, even when there is noise in my background, you don't really, these mics don't really pick it up. Yeah, I've used it before.
Okay,
I've used it before.
I thought this was like your first time like busting it out.
Nah. Maybe because I still had the plastic on this part. You thought that?
Yeah.
And nah, I just didn't take it off because it was like we weren't actually like in the process of doing nothing. So I was like, let me try to keep it as clean and pristine as possible. But nah, I played with it to see what it can do. I kind of lost my train of thought. Oh, but I'm really satisfied with the sound of these. The only thing that these microphones don't do that I wish they did, they just don't pick up sound from a 360-degree angle, as you just found out. So if I move over here, well, you hear me, but my voice comes in and out. Mm-hmm. It's not the same. Or if I choose to talk from the top of the mic, then the pitch.
Because that's how I was doing it at first. I'm like, I'm speaking through the top of it, but it's pretty much like straight ahead.
Exactly. But man, where this? So I mean that's a great feature. Like the as long as you sit, you know what I'm saying, sit the mic in front of you to talk, you're good. But the mic's supposed to be in front of you anyway. The sound pad. I didn't know what these were at first because I've never. Games have always been my interest.
Right.
Not you know what I'm saying? Not music, yeah, but not as far as mixing and mastering, nothing like that. So when it came to the sound pad, I was like, what is this? And
I think I know what it is, though, but I'm gonna let you keep going. I think I know what it is.
And I mean, anybody that knows music, you know what I'm saying, pays attention to radio stations and things like that, they know what a sound pad is. Me, I didn't. And so when I got to playing with it, I was like, oh, that's what this does. And unlike iPhones that most of America has,
shots fired.
You can customize the soundboard to whatever you want it to be.
So when you watching a rap battle, and then they be like that Don DeMarco, that's like they hit that button.
If they hit that button,
hit the button. Hey, you need to put that on there. You need to put that on there, bro. That's gonna be classy. That's gonna be it's this button right here. When you get it on there, it's this right here. That's what you're gonna put it on right there.
So, like I said, I done played with it, and I just wanna. I'm just gonna hit one of these pads and just let y'all see what's going on out here in these recording streets. You know what I'm saying? So let's just break into this right quick.
Oh, okay, I hear it. Yeah. Bro, you should like on that TI thing I had showed you. Like if you start getting like a lot of subscribers, you should be like, man, hit the button. That's gonna be fire. That is gonna be fire. I'm telling you, bro. Man, hit the button. That's gonna be crazy. I'm telling you, bro. You gotta put it right here. It's gonna be down right there, bro. I still hear it a little bit too in here.
Oh yeah. I just turned it down so
okay.
So your voice would be over the beat.
Oh, like so that was my that's my side.
No, this controls the soundboard value.
Oh, on both headsets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, alright.
Yeah, like that's the master control for the soundboard volume. Like your mic 2, so this controls your volume here.
Oh, okay.
And then for your headphones, for the feedback in your headphones will be here. This dial here. If it's too loud, you just dial it back some.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see it.
And like every key has a different sound on it right now.
Oh, so you done already customized it?
I've already customized all the keys.
All right.
Already customized.
I got 2. That TI one, that's the first one. I ain't gonna tell you what the second one is yet though. But okay. I got it.
Oh man, like this thing was so dope to me when and it's so easy to record it because you can record it from any source. Like you connect your phone, and whatever you playing on your phone, you just go to the presets for this, and you choose the record option, and then the moment you start playing your song, just sync up the times when you started. Record it, sample it, save it, it's on there, and it's ready for playback instantly.
And it's weird though because like I'm learning about this now, just like they learning about it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't read the instructions on it. I didn't read the manual or nothing, so I didn't really think it was as complicated though. For real. Hold on, what was that? Turn it back up some. What song is this?
You heard it?
I hear it, but I never heard it. I never heard it before. That's what I'm saying. I don't know where it come from.
It's it's officially is listed on the album as a reprise.
Okay.
It's really a remix. It's Big Crit, Mount Olympus.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, he reprised it like months, maybe even a year after the initial release of the song, and this was the beat. He know redropped that. His
man, shout out to Big Crit though, man. One of the dopest in the game.
Man, top five. He's in my top 5.
I would say at least as far as like lyrical ability. Like it's just he's off the charts, bro.
Man, the things he does with his music, the way the music is evolving for him, it's crazy. Like I was a big fan of. I've been a big fan of most of his projects, but just to show like how different his sound has become. Forever is a Mighty Long Time may be my favorite Big Crit album. Mm-hmm. And when he dropped Crit's one of my few artists, like the moment they drop a project, I just buy it. I don't have to sample it. I just buy it because I know like the quality of work I'm getting from you. So I'll just buy it. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll sample it.
That's kind of like how I am with J. Cole though.
Yeah, I mean
that dude just, oh my God, man. I think like, at least as far as like lyrical ability goes, like he's definitely like I'm just all around rapper. Like I think he's number 1, in my opinion. I think he's number 1.
J. Cole is my favorite rapper.
Yeah, mine used to be Kanye, but then Kanye, man, he needs some work. He needs some work on him, man. Like, he used to be real and authentic. I don't know what the hell happened to the man, to be honest with you. So like, I'm praying for him, but it seemed like he already done, turned to God, gave his life over. So it seemed like he headed in the right direction. But then again, you see him, he up there with Trump, wearing the MAGA hat, or what is it, the MAGA hat or
MAGA.
The MAGA hat. He just seemed like he done lost it all over again. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on with Buddy, man, but hopefully God help him because he need a lot of it.
Like everybody freaking make their own choices. I just can't get behind somebody that's keeping people in cages because they seeking refuge from.
Oh man, that was crazy. When I seen that, like I'm like, yo, like they got them in there like they animals.
Animals, man. That's the first thing I thought. I mean, they were in steel cages like 12 feet high, full enclosure, and you literally go out of your way to separate the children from the adults. Like, is this an internment camp? Like, what are we doing?
It just blew my mind, bro. I was like, I don't know why they were doing that. I'm like, I know they, that you're supposed to take precautions when you have people that aren't born here and, they come over here illegally or whatnot, but they still human beings and they still supposed to have rights at the end of the day.
Yeah, man. So that's just basic human rights. Like that was just unacceptable to me.
Yes.
But anyway, man, moving on. So you see, we got 2, 4, 6, 8 keys here, right?
Right.
So you would think, okay, you only had like 8 sounds at a time. Well, let's turn it up so we can hear it. Okay, so that was one of the defaults that was on her, right?
Okay. Oh, the little, yeah.
Okay, that was not a default,
right? I can't hear that one. That seems like that's a default one too, though.
That was a default.
Okay. Yeah.
Who that was like?
Standard hand clap.
That wasn't a default. The one that they had on her was really short, and I just wanted one that was. I needed one that was longer than the one that they had on her.
Right.
And it actually had somebody whistling. So.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I went on. So most of my sounds that are on her, I got from Zedge. The app I told you about for ringtones and wallpapers.
And you just plugged it in there?
Yeah,
I just downloaded it on there?
Well, no, I didn't have to download it. What I did was I connected my phone to it. Because you got 2 options to connect your phone to. You can connect your phone via Bluetooth or via a USB cable, right?
Right.
And so either option, all you have to do is go to the record, go to the soundboard record section on the hub here, and then as you play the sound, you press record, and then when the sound is done, you stop recording, and then you can instantly play that sound back.
Okay.
And so that's how you get your recording. So if you wanted to record, I'm not sure what the time limit is on recording those things, but as far as like some of the instrumentals that I have on here, I recorded up to like 2 minutes 20 seconds.
I was gonna say I didn't even know they had like a time limit on there.
Like I'm not sure what it is because it's got some type of internal memory limit for that. I just don't know what the max is. But the whole point behind all that was you can get more than 8 sounds on here. Okay. So
because some of them like. At least I've seen them on TV and everything like that. Some of these, like, whatever this, I forgot what you said it was, but some of them are like 2-3 times the size of this one.
Oh yeah.
So I can only imagine how many of them you can have on there at one given time.
Right. It's so that was page 1, and if you notice as I flip through the pages, the colors on the page change.
Okay.
I think I've only went up to 3.
Oh, so when you flip the page, it gives you like more options.
Yeah, different, more options.
Oh, okay.
As long as you set them up, because if you go too far and you see how they're all blank, I haven't coded anything on this page.
Oh, you can leave that for me. I'm gonna fill it up.
Well, actually, all of this is gonna be this was just stuff I threw on here, thinking that I was gonna use it at some point in time. Because I actually want to use this like when I was streaming games, but it doesn't seem like I'm able to. I plugged it up to the PlayStation didn't recognize it, so I may not be able to use this.
Really?
Yeah. And I was really looking forward to using this because it's like, dang, I can shoot a podcast and I can use this as my mixer when I'm streaming. Like this, I got more than what I bargained for, but I don't know.
They gonna make it that easy on you. They say you gotta pay for this, sir.
Yeah, man. I contacted Rode and asked them. They were like, I don't know specifically, but if you connect it via USB, you may be able to. And I'm like, well, obviously, because I told them I did that, so I'm like, well, if that didn't work, maybe I can't do it. So yeah, like you can put any sound on here. If let's say there's something like you were always known for saying like this one particular phrase, and we wanted to like put that on a key.
Yeah,
I can isolate that particular section from the recording, record that, and then it's on the key. And so at a point in time where you would normally say that, if you don't say it, I just tap the key and there it is.
Okay. Like every time, I know I said it already, but it like I guess because I've been watching too much battle rap recently, you know, so like, I'll be hearing like the Don DeMarcos and then
right.
So all the horns and stuff going off.
Right. Man. Okay. Well, dang, beyond that, beyond the soundboard, like I said, you can hit this Bluetooth button and connect your phone via Bluetooth. Okay. So we can also make calls with this.
That part of the show gonna be fire. Like live call-ins.
Live call-ins. You will not just be in the comments. You can be featured on the show. We don't get no better than that.
Oh yeah, shout out RB the Breakthrough, man. He the first person. He the first one I seen had a live commentary on this channel. So I'm not saying he was the first, but he was the first one I seen do it. So
I think I remember that. I think I remember when he started doing that, man. Mm-hmm. He does put out really good content as far as basketball world is concerned. Like
good YouTuber, man.
For him not to be in the league, he certainly has a lot of information that's on point.
Oh, you talking about like his inside guys?
Yeah. Like his information
it be spot on though.
It be rivaling them guys in the media that you be seeing on ESPN and First Take.
And you know what? It's crazy because like he's I think they be hating on him though, because like when you watch his material, he's unbiased towards anyone. Like, it doesn't matter who they are. Like, he gives his honest opinions and he's unbiased about what he says.
Right.
He's objective about what he says. So that's what I like.
See, that's the thing. A lot of people can't be objective. A lot of people pretend they're being objective when really they're being subjective. Like, Skip Bayless is the perfect example.
Oh my God.
He
Shannon Sharp too, though, bro.
He isn't the perfect example because I don't think Skip is pretending to be objective. Skip is just Skip Bayless. Like whenever LeBron's name comes up,
he be like, 2011 finals. Epic meltdown.
2011 finals. Epic meltdown.
So.
That had. Now, we were talking about how much a Domino's pizza costs, and you start talking about LeBron in the 2011 finals, Skip Bayless. Skip, don't do that!
Like, Skip.
Shannon kills me, man. Like, but yeah, like, he's a good example because he just...
He's a good example, but he's not the only example, though. Because, like, it's a lot of them that do with... Shannon Sharp, he's a LeBron fanboy, too.
Yeah, he is a big fan. Man, he's a big fan, but he is not. I would not say I wouldn't say it's all subjective when it comes to LeBron. He backs it all up with fact. When he gives you the numbers are there, and they aren't lying. So it's like I can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't knock him for believing in the guy and for praising him. You know what I'm saying? You may not like all the praise and how animated he is and wearing the goat heads and goat man, yeah, that's me.
Like goat James. Goat.
You may not like all of that, and if you don't like none of that, you can't have any personality because it's funny. Yeah. I'm not a LeBron fan, but I enjoy when Shannon Sharp is on his show doing Shannon Sharp.
Man, he come up there with the cigar.
With the cigar. Oh, my God.
With the do-rag on, bro. Oh, my God.
Shannon Sharp.
You keeping a straight hood on that, man.
Shannon Sharp is the GOAT of... Man.
Him and Stephen A. Him and Stephen A. like the most animated personnel on like in the sports world right now.
He is very animated. He's very animated, man. His voice, it's all in his voice with Stephen A.
Yeah, it is though.
It's all in his voice.
Yeah. He like, you're wrong, and here's why.
You know what, man? But I honestly feel like Shannon and Skip make such a good team.
Yeah.
Because they have opposing opinions. It makes for a great debate. Shannon loves LeBron. Skip hates LeBron.
Facts.
Even when Shannon is right, in Skip's opinion, he is wrong. And here's why I'm going to tell you you're wrong. In 2011, he had the biggest meltdown. I mean, come on. Are we going to ignore this?
He has the biggest meltdown of a superstar. That's what that's his line that he uses on
It's crazy. They were talking about, this past week, they were talking about LeBron and Shannon. I'm really trying to remember. He was talking about... they were talking about the Kyrie comments. Because Kyrie Irving made the clutch comments.
Bro, Kyrie Irving is a lunatic, first off.
I don't want to say it's like the first time, but it's really like the second time he's always talking about LeBron.
Yeah, facts.
Because that, wasn't it the talk of the media over the summer during the pandemic?
I think it was something like he was saying that no one should participate in the bubble because of what was going on at the time. Like, they had the police. They were just going nuts out here in the street and just killing a lot of unarmed black individuals. So,
and actually, I felt, when the context came, and I actually knew why he was saying it, I was like, well, I agree with that because like I'm a black man and at any point that could be me or somebody I know. So it's not like he's just saying you guys just shouldn't be playing in the bubble because there's a pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Because then that you can skew that and say, oh, he's only saying that because he's out injured and he's not in the playoffs.
And that was the main pushback that he was receiving just because of that fact. And
it's crazy that you spin it like that when he told you why.
Right. I don't feel like he had any malicious intent behind his statements. I feel like he said what he said and he meant what he said, and I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, because when you have a platform we would like for people to use their platform for the greater good and bring attention to these issues that don't get the attention that they should. They don't get the attention, and the narrative is always one-sided. Yeah. But had the NBA players decided to boycott basketball and decided to take the attention, if they chose to push the attention toward what's going on across the nation with police brutality, there would not have been a distraction from it. Right. Media wouldn't have been able to talk about this team that's been on a 30-game win streak and is en route to make history in the NBA Finals. That wouldn't be cause for topic, because those guys that would be making history in the NBA are making history where it really matters in the real world by bringing attention to injustices in the nation.
Honestly, I feel like if let's say like if LeBron James if he wasn't in the league, I don't feel like I don't think they would have kept that season going. Or let's say like, for example, if he had ended up like getting hurt or he got corona and he couldn't participate in the playoffs, they would just say, all right, it ain't even no point, because he draws so much attention to the game of basketball himself, because a lot of people want to see him win, but there's a lot of people that want to see him lose simultaneously. Right. Exactly. So I feel like it could have went either way.
Exactly. And I'd have to agree with you on that one. That makes a lot of sense. Especially, it'd be one thing if he was out, but somebody like Steph Curry was in, maybe it still goes. If Steph Curry and then you still have Kawhi in the running, maybe you still have maybe season continues.
I don't know, man.
But taking LeBron out completely, and
this is all hypotheticals here, you know what I'm saying? Because we all know that didn't happen, but, right? You know.
But yeah, I think if you take LeBron out completely and you have no Steph, and then it's just Kawhi in the West, then you don't, like, what are they talking about on First Take in ESPN? Like, what's Max Kellerman saying?
I honestly, I don't know. I feel like now they'll see, like, if it's kind of like what they're saying, like about Steph Curry, what they're saying about him this upcoming season. They're going to say, well, they want to see if he can lead his team to the playoffs by himself, because now he doesn't have Klay Thompson by his side. He kind of has like a lot of filler parts, if you will, you know what I'm saying, on his team now. So he doesn't have his right-hand man, and he don't even have Kevin Durant anymore. So it's like, man, it will be difficult, but I still believe in Steph, his ability to get this team at least. I'm not saying he has to win it all, but he can get them there. Like, Westbrook is one of my favorite players, and I've seen him, you know, after Durant left, he got his team to the playoffs every year by himself until he got extra help. And he might have got bounced in the first round all those years, but he alone is enough to get his team to the playoffs. So therefore, I believe Steph Curry is enough by himself to get his teams to the playoffs.
Yeah, and Westbrook did it with role players and a big man.
Bro, and it's crazy because I remember watching that. I don't know if that was the first year after KD left, but it might have been. But long story short, they was facing the Rockets in the first round, and literally every game I watched, he had them up by like 20 points. As soon as he went to the bench, the lead was erased, because he was the only one that could score. Like, he was the only one that could score and do, like, just put up points on his team,
make his own shot. Yeah, like he's been the only playmaker. He was the only playmaker until they got George and was it Carmelo that year? Yeah, until they got George and Carmelo. No, they had. Did he have Oladipo? He had
Oladipo before them. Okay. But it is crazy because, like, Oladipo pissed me off because I'm like, because the move that when he got traded to the Pacers, they was like he had lost 20 pounds and put on so many pounds of muscle. I'm like, that just kind of showed me like why didn't you, if you would have done that while you were in OKC, you could have potentially helped them further themselves and get out and, you know, and go further in the playoffs, but he didn't do that.
There's a lot that we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like what goes on in those locker rooms and training camps. Like you don't know. We never really know what leads to like somebody leaving the team. Like we know what they tell us, but there's a lot that happens behind the scenes that leads to these trades and those demands for trades. Like
I think regarding Victor Oladipo, I think it was more so he wanted the of course the money, and then when he got traded, he was the main option on that team.
That's true.
You know, like those is pretty much like predominantly the only two reasons if you're not in contention to win championships. You leave for the money, or you leave to be the main guy to put up shots.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I'd have to say so. But in the game where it's so funny because like there are fans that want to like judge a guy based on like his desire and his effort to win and his exercise or lack of exercise to sacrifice money to win a championship. But you also have to look at it from a standpoint that the NBA is a business, and like those execs, like those guys don't care for you. Those guys invest in players that are marketable and have the potential to get them more money based on winning.
That's true. I agree.
And if a guy can't produce, or if a guy knows that he can't produce where he's at, or he is coming off an injury and he's probably prone to more injury, I'm not mad at him for trying to get the most bang for his dollar. I'm not mad at him trying to maximize his time, get the most amount of money in the least amount of time, because in a world like in the world that we live in, if any working person had the opportunity to, like, let's say somebody had the opportunity, like let's say you had the opportunity to make $2,000 in 1 day worth of work versus $150 in a day's worth of work, would you not quit your job, make that $2,000 and just find another job after that?
Is that like, am I making $2,000 every day?
Well, no. What I'm saying is, would you, if you were presented an opportunity, like an employer came to you and said, "Hey, your employer is paying you $150 a day.
Okay. I
don't have a lot of work, but I could use you tomorrow and tomorrow only for the foreseeable future, and I'll pay you $2,000 for that 1 day."
I'm not quitting my job that's paying me $150 a day to you know what I'm saying, just to make $2,000 that 1 day. You know what I'm saying? They don't make any sense.
I can see your logic in that, because you like, man, I need job security. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else may think, "Ah, man, he tripping. I quit my job, go make that $2,000 and find me another job." You know what I'm saying? Cause
that's not worth it.
But see, your situation is not the next man's situation. Whereas you may feel like you set up good where you are. Somebody else may be like, "Man, nigga, I work at McDonald's. I'm making $11, and I don't know what people at McDonald's make. I'm just throwing a number out there. Right. And I'm making $11 an hour. I ain't seeing no money. I'm gonna take that $2,000 and then I'm gonna go work at another McDonald's, or I'm gonna work at a Family Dollar or wherever."
I mean, it sounds good, but the way today's society is set up, most niggas ain't finding a job the next day. It don't happen like that anymore.
Yeah, with the way it's set up, nah, you right.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's more so, it's safer just to go with that option that's paying you the $150 consistently every day, because eventually you're gonna hit that 2,000. I don't even know what 150 times like 31 days is in a month, but I know that's a lot of money. Either or.
Before you get taxed.
Yeah, before you get taxed. Hey, it don't matter. If my job said they're gonna pay me $150 a day, I'm gonna do it. If I gotta work 12 hours, cool. Well, all right, cool. Well, I got $150 a day.
That's true. That's true.
Come on, man.
That's almost guaranteed money.
Facts.
Oh,
I don't even care if I have benefits at that point. I don't need them. I'm making $150 a day. I don't need them.
Man, I don't even want to talk about benefits. My girlfriend just made me realize how high my insurance is, and when I thought about it, I was like, "That's another expense."
See,
and I was like, "Oh, I hate that you brought that to my attention, because now I'm gonna dwell on it, and I don't want to. I just don't like talking about money sometimes."
But see, that's why a lot of people, they lean towards the military just because of the benefits, bro. Like insurance, all that stuff. They cover you and your family for that. So,
It's so crazy.
Excuse me.
It's so crazy how expensive that stuff is. Like I have a, so I'm paid weekly. So my deductions are coming out every week for my health insurance.
Okay.
So that's coming out every week. And then I also have a portion of my earnings going into a health savings account, right? So like if I have hospital bills or dental bills or any health related bills, instead of pulling out my personal debit card, I can pull out my HSA card and I can pay from there first before I come out of pocket. Even though it's all my money, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the money on that HSA is just money that was before it went to my pocket directly. It just detours into the health savings account.
So I know like sometimes like the standard thing is something like if you have something wrong, like you'll go there and you just might pay like a deductible or something, and then that's just it'll just be that. Like if something costs $1,000, you might pay like 100 or 150 or something like that, and then you'd be cool.
Yeah, like well, I haven't had like surgery or nothing like that, but I have gone to the optometrist and the dentist a couple times, and when like the dentist prescribes me like medication, I end up paying. I pay that with I pay for it with my HSA.
Okay.
And so like I don't end up, you know what I'm saying, spending any of my net income. I just spend the money on the HSA, which is what that money's for anyway. And that money is governed by, I did know that, because this is really the first time I've had like, this is the second time I've had the second employer that I've actually had health insurance with, but it's the first time I've been able to really utilize all aspects of it. So when I go to, what I realized was like that money is governed by, it's monitored. What?
The notebook.
That money is watched by the IRS. So if you thought you were gonna go buy the new Concord 11s, yeah, they gonna flag that, and they gonna need that bread back, and they coming to get it one way or the other. So sometimes they're even, but the crazy thing about like having an HSA and the IRS is sometimes there are expenses that you pay for within the that are health related, but they aren't accepted. They aren't accepted by the IRS. Meaning you can make the purchase, it goes through, it deducts from your HSA, but then sometime within the next 3 weeks, that authorization for the payment is going to be declined, and then they're going to demand that you pay their money back. Okay. And that's happened to me a couple of times. I bought some sunglasses from my optometrist, and because they were not prescription sunglasses, they were not covered under my plan. Which I had to get that money back, which was crazy to me, because I'm just like, that's money I should be able to spend, and it's like, granted,
you would think so.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, like. Even though like a lot of people wear sunglasses for fashion, sunglasses actually, you know what I'm saying, do protect your eyes from UV rays, which are harmful. And I learned something about something that UV rays like stack, like over time they build up a type of like eye plaque on your eye. Like if you see like yellow spots on your eye, it's usually it's like a form of it's.
Was it like pus or something? Like
it's not pus, but it's an effect that UV rays have on your eyes. Like it kind of stacks the stuff. It kind of stacks this plaque on your eyes over time. But if you protect your eyes, stay out of the sunlight, and wear sunglasses when you are out in the sun for a prolonged amount of time, it can protect your eyes from that buildup.
Like on your actual eyeball, or your eyelids?
Eyeball.
Okay.
Yeah. So because it had health benefits, you know what I'm saying, I would think that, you know what I'm saying,
I guess it's a fun fact.
It should have been an okay purchase, but it wasn't, and I had to pay it, so it's whatever. At this point, yeah, I think it's about time we get into some topics that we actually had set up for this episode. But
you just want to go in order?
Nah, cause I'm a boxing fan, but you're more of an MMA fan. So
to be honest with you, I haven't really been keeping up with either or. Like, I just get on YouTube and I see like some stuff off ESPN, and it just keep me up to date with everything. But and I did. Did he actually dispense? Did he actually?
He beat him.
He beat the dog shit out of him.
He beat him.
Was it the Garcia guy?
Yeah, he beat Garcia. He beat Garcia. That was his only. That's been his only fight since his fight with Sean Porter last year.
Did we watch? Was that
we watched? No. The fight we watched was in March. That was his fight with another other Mexican fighter, Mikey Garcia. That was Mikey Garcia.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that one.
And
because he beat him too.
He took that boy to school.
Yeah, he did.
And he took that man to school, and he put the boxing world on notice. Like, hey, I don't just go in there and brawl. Like, I never really thought he was a brawler though. Like, he never struck me as a brawler. He just looked like a fundamentalist boxer who wasn't scared to take shots. And
exactly, because I think wasn't he trying to fight Mayweather? Wasn't he calling him out?
I don't think he was trying to fight Mayweather. He's actually addressed that, but I don't think he was trying to fight Mayweather. Like, he didn't. I think he didn't go to the Olympics until like 2012.
How old is Errol Spence?
Errol Spence is 28 or 29. 28 or 29.
He like around our age.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 28 or 29. But yeah, he didn't go to the Olympics until like 2012. So he made his debut in either 2013 or 2014. And Mayweather's fight against Pacquiao was in 2015, so that was too late for him to try to come in.
I remember watching that though, man. Everybody thought, I thought Floyd was gonna lose though, bro. Because I'm like, Pacquiao, he was just like, I wanted Floyd to win, which he ultimately did. But I'm just like, I'm in the back of my mind, I'm like, if anybody can beat Floyd, I would put money on it that it would be Pacquiao. Because I'm like, he's energized. And he hits hard, and he's just an energetic boxer. Yeah, he just coming in to destroy you though, But ultimately he lost, and Floyd won. So I was like, okay, I was satisfied with that. Like I said, I wanted Floyd to win, but like I'm in the very deepest crevices in the back of my mind, I'm like, he might get him. He might get him.
Like at that point in time, I wasn't a fan of boxing. Oh, that was because I'm trying to think since it was a Floyd fight, that fight probably happened in May, and if not May, sometime between May and July. I'm trying to think of when Creed came out, starring Michael B. Jordan. Because
was it like 20?
That came out in no, it came out in 2015. I just can't remember which part of the year it debuted in. Okay. Because whenever that dropped, that's when I became a fan of boxing. That don't even seem like that
seemed like that just came out yesterday though. That's crazy.
Strange that a boxing film would make me a fan of the sport versus one of the biggest. I think the biggest fight in boxing. Well, the biggest as far as money revenue is concerned.
Are you talking about the Floyd and Pacquiao fight?
Yeah. But looking back on that fight, I liked the fight. I did like the fight.
Yeah. It went the distance.
It did. A lot of people complain like that, but a lot of people often complain about Floyd fights because there wasn't a lot of action in the fight. But
he's a defensive fighter though. But they act like he wasn't like knocking niggas out. You know what I'm saying? Before he got his hands messed up and like in his early days of boxing, he was just beating the shit out of everybody. My problem
with people that criticize Floyd's fighting style, and not even just Floyd, but a boxer's fighting style, like a true boxer, is the fact that you're not really a fan of boxing to me. If you complain about a guy that hits his opponent and then gets out of range so he doesn't get hit, you're not a real fan of boxing, because that's real fans of boxing, and boxers respect that, and that's what boxing is about. It's about hitting the opponent and not getting hit. Like that's the whole point of it. Nobody really wants to get hit. And Andre Ward will make that very clear to you. Like, because I became a fan of him after he retired. I didn't even know he was in the first Creed. I didn't even know he was a real boxer until after I saw the movie and I was talking to a friend of mine at the time. Well, no. I didn't rewatch. Well, I rewatch it like every so often, but I talked to this guy I worked with and asked him had he seen it because I was telling him it's a really good movie. And then when he saw it, he was like, "Oh man, that movie was really good." And he said, "I like the fact that they had real boxers in there." Me, of course,
didn't know nobody at the time.
I didn't know nobody in it. They had 3 real boxers that were actively boxing in that movie.
Right.
People may think he was Mexican. He actually may be Hispanic. Anyway.
Oh, that's you talking about the dude in the beginning?
Leo.
When he was calling people out in the boxing gym.
Yeah, Andre Ward. Yeah. Well,
okay.
What was his name? Danny Wheeler. Yeah, Danny Stuntman Wheeler. Yeah, that's Andre Ward.
Okay.
He retired undefeated too, but people don't talk about him like they talk about Floyd.
How many fights he had? That's probably why Floyd is what? He 50 and 0?
Yeah, 50. Man, I don't really respect that 50 though, man. Like I don't respect that last fight. Cause that last fight, the 50th fight was kind of
McGregor.
Like,
McGregor?
How do you go? Like, how do you want to have? How do you want to cement your boxing legacy and say, "Oh, I surpassed Rocky Marciano's undefeated record of 49 wins and 0 losses with 50 wins and 0 losses"? When your last fight was against a guy that wasn't even a professional boxer. Like granted, he's a fighter. But he's a different type of fighter. He's an MMA fighter. Like that guy was trained. He was trained in different arts. You know what I'm saying? And he had a small amount of time to train for you versus you training in this one art your entire life. Like so, as a fan of boxing, I don't really respect that win. Like yeah, he beat him. But as far as adding that to your overall record, like I don't respect that.
Well, I think like when I call back on that fight, I don't think the judge should have stopped the fight though. Like, cause I'm like the MMA fighters take way more punishment than just being punched in the face. These guys take knees, elbows, feet, any thing on this person's body. You can use to physically assault this person and get away with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't think that they should have, because I think it went like 9 rounds out of 12, and then like in the 9th round, then that's when they stopped the fight. I was like, why did you stop the fight? This man has taken, and he even said that after the fight, he's like, I'm a warrior, man. Just let me keep going. Like he was like, I've dealt with worse than this before, which he has.
The thing was, and I've only seen the fight the one time. I do agree with you. I don't think the ref should have stopped the fight where he stopped the fight because Conor didn't look shook. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Granted, he was on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
He was taking a flurry of punches, but he wasn't wobbling. He hadn't been dropped.
Exactly.
He hadn't touched the canvas at all. So
yeah.
I don't see why he stopped the fight. Like
I don't either.
Floyd, I feel like Floyd had really just started that combination, and then he just stepped. And then that's. I just feel like it was.
It was too early to me.
I don't.
It was too early.
Yeah,
they should just let it play. They should just let it play out.
It was. I've seen guys take way worse punishment, and I've seen refs not step in.
Man.
I've seen him take way worse.
You better say it.
Nate Robinson took worse punishment. That's a fight that should have been stopped. When Nate, right before that, what was it, the second round, third round?
I think he did get knocked out in the second round.
Whatever round it was, second or third, whatever round, right before Nate got knocked out, he hit the canvas. He got up. The ref counted. He got up. Yeah. He asked him, did he want to continue? He asked him, was he sure?
Yeah.
From the camera angle I saw, I got a glimpse of Nate's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I could see the pupil in his right eye.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the pupil in his left eye, and he had and just his left brow just looked so swollen.
Right.
Maybe it was so swollen, and that was why I couldn't see it, and it was blocking his pupil from the shot.
Mm-hmm.
But in that moment, I felt like that ref should have stopped that fight, because Nate did not look like regardless of what he was saying, he didn't appear to look like he was capable of continuing the fight. And as a fan of boxing, I really feel like that should have been stopped. Because when you take into consideration, it's his first fight.
Yeah.
He didn't look like he was really trained from the jump.
I think they taught him like offensive abilities, but they didn't teach him defense. And that's where his fault was right there.
Man,
because I was like, I never really understood it, and then at first I didn't know anything about Jake Paul. I just knew he was a YouTube guy.
I didn't know who he was either. I confused him with Logan Paul,
because that's his brother.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that they were brothers. So
I'm thinking like, and the thing that caught me off guard was like, I didn't know that he actually boxed. Like I don't care who you are. Like,
this was his second professional fight.
I think I would say I wouldn't have he's still an amateur. Jake Paul is not a professional.
Well, as far as like I don't even know what government body he's boxing with. But when they before the fight started and they were showing records and things like that, he had a record of 1 win, 0 losses. So because
I think he fought somebody else. I think he fought another YouTuber.
I mean, he'd be an amateur, and his brother did. His brother fought this British guy, KSI.
That's the name. Was that a black dude?
Black dude, Jerry.
Like African or something like.
Nah, he's from the UK. Yeah,
that's what. Because I'm gonna say he had an accent, so I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know where
from
he
the
was
UK. They fought twice. The first fight was a draw, and the second fight KSI won. I don't even know why those guys were. I don't even know why those guys were beefing.
I don't either.
I had no interest in finding out.
But you know what? I'm glad they decided to settle it with hands versus gunfire.
I mean,
with some records like that.
Well, when one guy is stationed in the U.S. and the other guy is stationed in the U.K., it's kind of hard to pull up on a nigga and ask him, "Do we want that smoke?"
I mean, you're right, but these aren't the average niggas though. They actually got money. And it might be coming from YouTube, but they still got more money than the average person. So you can if you wanted smoke, you could get on a flight and go to UK and look for his ass. It'd be no problem.
Yeah, but when you step in, people don't even have to like you. But if a nigga come from his country to your country looking for you, you know what I'm saying? Niggas that don't even like you gonna be like, oh no, we gotta press this fool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So and UK strikes me as one of those countries where it's really a brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Like we're there's like a common brotherhood amongst like the average people. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not so sure. I don't know about that, but from what I've heard, it's like they don't get me wrong. It's shootings that go on over there, but I heard like it's more so like a lot of stabbings and like like brutal beatings. Like if you got pressure with somebody and they see you, like they might not pull a gun